This video will have spoilers from Blizzard's newly released novel Chronicle Volume II, so if you don't want any spoilers or you don't want to hear anything about it, click off of this video right now. A very long ass time ago, during primordial Draenor, a titan by the name of Agramar found the world and noticed that a very dangerous and aggressive plant was slowly consuming the planet. These mountains of living plant life were known as the Spore Mound, and should they be left unchecked, they would consume every single living organism on the planet until nothing remained. Refusing to let this happen, Agramar decided to destroy the Spore Mounds by channeling all of the planet's air, fire, earth, and water energies into the world's largest mountain and then infusing that mountain with life. This mountain was known as Grond, and it would have the sole purpose of eradicating the Spore Mounds. Grond quickly made way to the closest Spore Mound, and although the plant-like creature was mighty and wielded powers that were incredible, Grond easily managed to root his fingers into the Spore Mound and tear it from Draenor's surface, immediately killing it. The other three surviving Spore Mounds sensed the death of one of their own and sensed Grond's presence. Realizing that they had to adapt to fight the giant, they then began to consume the life from Draenor's jungles, giving them the ability to walk like Grond. As one, the three Spore Mounds converged on Grond and assaulted him with such coordination that the mountain giant was nearly killed. Grond, however, possessed an iron will that rivaled that of Agramar's, and he would not stand by and allow the Spore Mound to consume Draenor. Channeling his strength, Grond barraged his foes with punches, each fist carrying the weight of an entire mountain. Zang, the smallest Spore Mound, fell beneath Grond's fury when the mountain giant grabbed him and literally ripped him in two. Nanu, the second Spore Mound, was crushed to death between Grond's hands. The final Spore Mound, however, Botan, noticed how fatigued and exhausted Grond had become. By channeling what remained of the energies from Nanu and Zang's corpses, Botan grew stronger and increased dramatically in size. Insidiously, the Spore Mound stretched its vines into Grond's wounds and dug deep. It then ripped his wounds apart, causing crevices, fractures, and breaks to appear all throughout Grond. It was too much. Grond fell to the ground beneath his own weight and broke into pieces. His corpse would form the land, now known as Nagrand, and the corpse of Zang became the Zangar Sea, while Nanu's corpse became Tanan Jungle. But this wasn't all that their bodies gave rise to. From the corpse of the Spore Mounds and their remaining life essence, the Gene Soar were given life, and from Grond, enormous beings known as the Colossals were given birth. Agramar had no doubt in his mind that these Colossals would be able to stop Botan. Agramar rallied them, told them of Botan's strengths and weaknesses, and unleashed them upon the Spore Mound. Agramar, however, could not stay to ensure the victory of the Colossals. Somewhere else in the Great Dark, one of the Titans' Constellars had been killed. Without a choice, Agramar left Draenor in order to investigate who had killed the Constellar. Before he left, he promised the Colossals that he would return to them one day. However, he would not. Sargeras would slay Agramar in cold blood before he could ever return to Draenor. Back on the planet, the Colossals discovered that Botan had grown incredibly powerful in strength. Since no creature was left to challenge it after the fall of Grond, the wilds had flourished, and so too did Botan. It was now far stronger and far larger than Grond had ever been. Realizing that to pretty much assault Botan in its own home of the Evergrowth would be pretty damn stupid and would result in suicide, the Colossals decided to bait the Spore Mound by hacking away at the jungle life at the edge of the forest. This plan worked. Botan was pissed, and he chased the Colossals into a rocky landscape where the Colossals gained an advantage. They then ambushed the Spore Mound and attacked Botan and its Gene Soar. This conflict would last thousands of years, and during that time, both sides would suffer heavy casualties. Just like the Colossals who had risen from Grond, creatures known as the Magnaron were given life from the Colossals' remains. The Magnaron, however, were uncontrollable. Most set out on their own, doing their own thing and wandering the barren lands, while others fought any Gene Soars that they could come across because in their nature, they just despised the Evergrowth. However, even despite this, the Colossals could not control them. And on their part, for the Colossals, the war was looking very bad. The Magneron were unresponsive, the Colossals were dying, and Botan would once again triumph. Desperate, the Colossals rallied and made one final attempt to win the war. The Colossals rushed into the Evergrowth, flooded over Botan, and let loose the Titan-infused power from within themselves, killing hundreds of Venusaur, Botan, and themselves. However, just like how the Venusaurs arose from the corpses of the other spore mounts, new creatures arose from Botan's demise. When Botan exploded, spores erupted into the atmosphere and clung to plants and trees, transforming them into creatures known as podlings and botani. However, the spores also clung to the surviving Magneron, weakening them and transforming them into creatures of half-flesh and half-stone giants known as Gron. Some of these Gron continued to degenerate into the Ogron, and a number of these Ogron would once again degenerate even further into new creatures called Ogres. These spores would then linger in some beings for so long to where finally another race would emerge. Particular ogres kept degenerating to the point of where they became orcs. And although orcs were the smallest and physically weakest of Gron's line, they would soon come to dominate the world of Draenor.